There comes a time in life when you must protect your energy, guard your peace, and stand firm in your power. People will test you. Situations will try to shake you. But today I want to show you the power of detachment. Not from life, but from the unnecessary drama that drains your spirit. Acting as if you are emotionless does not mean you lack feelings. It means you refuse to let outside forces control your inner world. It is the art of self-mastery, the ability to rise above temporary emotions and stand in unwavering strength. Let's explore how to cultivate this mindset. Your emotions are not random forces beyond your control. They are not something that happens to you. They are something you allow. Every feeling, whether joy or pain, is a response to a thought, a perception, or a belief you hold. When you understand this, you reclaim your power. You no longer live at the mercy of circumstances, people, or fleeting moments. You step into a new reality where you get to decide how you feel, no matter what is happening around you. Imagine waking up in the morning and instantly feeling dread. Your heart is heavy, your thoughts are clouded, and you don't even know why. But then you pause. You realize that this feeling is coming from a thought. Maybe a worry about the day ahead, a past hurt, or an uncertainty about the future. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can let that thought run wild, dragging you into negativity, or you can stop it in its tracks. You can choose to say, no, I do not accept this energy today. I choose peace. I choose confidence. I choose to feel good. Most people go through life believing that emotions happen to them. They think, I am sad because this person hurt me. I am angry because this situation is unfair. I am anxious because life is uncertain. But when you live this way, you give all your power away. You become a puppet, controlled by everything and everyone around you. If someone is kind, you are happy. If things go as planned, you feel secure. If they don't, you fall into fear. This is not freedom. This is emotional slavery. But what if instead you decided that no one and nothing outside of you gets to dictate how you feel? What if you took full ownership of your emotions and chose them with intention? This is where your transformation begins. The truth is, emotions are just energy in motion. They arise, they pass, and they change based on your focus. If you dwell on a painful memory, you will feel sadness. If you think about something unfair, you will feel anger. If you replay worst-case scenarios, you will feel anxiety. But the moment you shift your attention, everything changes. Have you ever been deeply upset and then something made you laugh? Maybe a friend told a joke or you saw something funny, and suddenly, in an instant, the sadness was gone. The situation had not changed. Your life circumstances were still the same, but your focus shifted, and so did your emotions. This is proof that your feelings are not fixed. They are fluid, shaped by where you place your attention. This means you are never truly stuck. No matter how painful a moment feels, you have the power to change your emotional state. It begins with awareness. The next time you feel an emotion rising, stop and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? What belief is creating this feeling? Once you see the thought behind the emotion, you can challenge it, you can reframe it, you can choose a new perspective. For example, if someone ignores you, your first reaction might be to feel hurt. You might think, they don't care about me, I'm not important to them. And that thought will create sadness or insecurity. But what if you questioned that thought? What if instead you chose to believe, maybe they're busy, maybe this has nothing to do with me, maybe this is a sign that I should focus on myself today? Instantly your emotional response changes. The sadness lifts, the insecurity fades, because you have shifted your perspective. You have also shifted your feelings. This does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be unaffected. It means understanding that you always have a choice in how you interpret a situation, and that choice determines how you feel. It means stepping out of victimhood and into empowerment. The greatest freedom in life comes when you realize that nothing outside of you controls your inner world. You can experience peace even when others are chaotic. You can feel joy even in the midst of uncertainty. You can remain centered even when life throws unexpected challenges your way. This is not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally intelligent. It's about training yourself to pause before reacting, to assess before assuming, and to choose before surrendering to automatic responses. The more you practice this, the stronger you become. Instead of being thrown around by circumstances, you become steady, resilient, unshakable. Every day you have a choice. You can let emotions control you, or you can control them. You can let circumstances dictate your mood, or you can decide how you want to feel. You are the creator of your inner world. And once you master this, nothing and no one can take your peace away. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you have. It is a quiet strength, a form of self-control, and an energy that speaks louder than words. In a world that constantly demands reactions, explanations, and validation, choosing silence gives you a level of power that few people understand. It is not weakness, it is mastery. It is the ability to control your emotions, your mind, and your energy, rather than allowing the outside world to control you. Most people believe that speaking up, arguing, or defending themselves is the way to prove their worth. They feel the need to explain their choices, to convince others of their value, or to respond to every criticism. But true power does not come from over-explaining. It does not come from proving a point or reacting to negativity. True power comes from knowing when to stay silent. Silence is a response, and often it is the most effective one. When someone disrespects you, they expect a reaction. They want to see you get upset, to argue, to defend yourself, because that gives them control over you. The moment you react emotionally, you give them what they want. You show that they have the ability to affect your peace. But when you remain silent, you take that power away. You show that their words, their opinions, and their actions do not move you. This frustrates people who thrive on drama. They don't know how to handle someone who refuses to engage in their negativity. Your silence forces them to face their own energy, their own intentions, and their own behavior. When you stay silent, you keep your energy intact. Every time you engage in unnecessary conversations, arguments, or explanations, you are giving away your energy. You are allowing someone else to pull you into their world, their emotions, and their problems. But when you choose silence, you remain in control of your own space. You protect your peace, your mind, and your spirit. Silence is also a tool of observation. When you are quiet, you can see things more clearly. You begin to notice what people truly mean rather than just what they say. You see who respects your boundaries and who does not. You see who listens and who only waits for their turn to speak. In silence, you gain the wisdom to understand people beyond their words. You start to see through manipulation, deception, and false intentions. Most people reveal themselves when you simply watch and listen instead of responding impulsively. Silence is a sign of inner confidence. When you are truly secure in yourself, you do not need to constantly explain or prove anything to anyone. You do not need to justify your choices, your beliefs, or your actions. You simply live in alignment with your truth. People who lack confidence often talk excessively because they are seeking validation. They are trying to fill the empty spaces with words to convince others, and themselves, that they are right. But when you are sure of yourself, you do not need to convince anyone. Your energy, your actions, and your presence speak for you. There is also great strength in silence when dealing with conflict. Many arguments escalate because both sides feel the need to have the last word. But when you stay silent, you remove yourself from the cycle of negativity. You do not add fuel to the fire. You do not allow someone else's emotions to dictate your state of mind. Instead, you choose peace over chaos. Silence teaches patience. It helps you pause before reacting. It gives you time to process your thoughts and emotions before making a decision. When you practice silence, you stop making choices based on temporary feelings. You begin to respond with intention rather than react with emotion. This gives you control over your own life, rather than allowing fleeting moments to determine your path. One of the most powerful things about silence is that it makes others uncomfortable, especially those who rely on manipulation or control. When someone expects a reaction and they don't get it, they are left with their own thoughts. They are forced to reflect on their own words and actions. This is why silence is often more effective than arguing. It forces people to deal with themselves rather than shifting their focus onto you. Silence does not mean weakness. It does not mean you allow people to walk over you. It means you are selective with your energy. You do not waste words on those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You do not engage with people who do not respect you. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you strengthen your inner world. You train yourself to be unaffected by the noise of the outside world. You develop the ability to stay centered, calm, and powerful, no matter what is happening around you. Your silence is your power. It is your protection. It is your greatest strength. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, and not everything requires a response. When you learn to use silence wisely, you become unshakable. You become a force that cannot be manipulated, controlled, or drained. And that is true power. The way people see you is not a reflection of who you are. It is a reflection of their own beliefs, experiences, and limitations. The moment you realize this, you set yourself free. You stop living for approval. You stop fearing judgment. You step into a new level of confidence where you no longer shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Detaching from opinions and judgment is one of the most liberating things you can do for yourself. It allows you to live authentically, make decisions that align with your truth, and move forward without the weight of unnecessary validation. Most people spend their lives seeking approval, constantly worrying about what others think. They adjust their behavior to avoid criticism. They hold back their dreams out of fear of judgment. They hesitate to take action because they are afraid of what others might say. But the truth is, no matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. You can be kind, and someone will still misunderstand you. And you can be successful, and someone will still criticize you. You can take the safest path, and someone will still have something to say. If judgment is inevitable, then why waste your energy trying to avoid it? The people who judge you do not define you. Their words do not shape your reality. Their opinions do not dictate your worth. What they say is simply a projection of their own mindset, their own insecurities, and their own experiences. When you internalize their opinions, you are allowing someone else's limited perspective to control your life. But when you detach, you reclaim your power. Detachment does not mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop letting their judgments control you. It means you understand that their thoughts belong to them, not to you. It means you refuse to let someone's opinion become your prison. When you detach from external validation, you start living for yourself instead of for the approval of others. One of the greatest truths in life is that you cannot please everyone. Trying to do so will only drain your energy and leave you feeling empty. You might bend yourself into a version that fits their expectations, but in the process, you lose yourself. The cost of living for approval is too high. It robs you of your authenticity, your joy, and your freedom. When you detach from opinions, you give yourself permission to be real, to be bold, and to be true to yourself. Fear of judgment often stops people from taking action. They hesitate to follow their dreams because they worry about what others will say. But ask yourself, who are you living for? Are you here to satisfy the expectations of people who may not even understand your vision? Or are you here to fulfill your own potential, to grow, to evolve, and to create a life that aligns with your truth? The choice is yours. When you detach from judgment, you gain clarity. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop overthinking every decision. You start making choices based on what feels right for you, rather than what will impress or satisfy others. You start trusting yourself more. You begin to live from a place of self-acceptance rather than external validation. Detachment also strengthens your inner peace. When you stop allowing opinions to dictate your emotions, you become unshakable. People will always talk, but their words no longer have power over you. You don't react to every comment, every criticism, or every misunderstanding. You understand that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. The key to detachment is self-awareness. When you know who you are, you no longer need validation. When you accept yourself fully, criticism does not shake you. When you trust your path, judgment does not distract you. The more secure you become within yourself, the less external opinions affect you. You are not born to fit into someone else's expectations. You are not meant to live a life that pleases others while sacrificing your own happiness. Let people judge. Let them have their opinions. It is not your job to change their minds. It is not your responsibility to prove your worth. Your only job is to stay true to yourself, to honor your own journey, and to live in a way that feels right for you. When you free yourself from opinions and judgment, you step into a new kind of freedom. You move with confidence. You trust yourself more. You follow your intuition without hesitation. And most importantly, you live life on your terms. Because at the end of the day, the only person who has to live with your choices is you. So make choices that honor your truth, not the expectations of others. That is true freedom. Your mind is like a sponge. It can either soak up everything around it or simply observe without letting external influences control your emotions, thoughts, and actions. Most people go through life absorbing negativity, opinions, and energy from the world without even realizing it. They react to everything they see and hear. They take in other people's emotions as their own. They allow external circumstances to dictate their inner peace. But there is a better way to live, one that gives you power, clarity, and control. Train your mind to observe, not absorb. Observation is a skill, a practice of awareness without attachment. It allows you to see things as they are without letting them consume you. It is the ability to witness emotions, situations, and energy without being pulled into them. The difference between observing and absorbing is the difference between watching a storm through a window and standing in the middle of it. When you absorb everything around you, life feels overwhelming. But when you observe, you remain centered, calm, and in control. One of the first steps to training your mind to observe is to recognize what is yours and what is not yours. Every day you encounter people who carry their own fears, frustrations, and insecurities. Some people project their negativity onto you. Others try to influence how you think, what you feel, or how you should react. If you are not careful, you might take on these emotions as if they are your own. You might find yourself feeling anxious, drained, or upset for no clear reason, but when you train yourself to observe, you create a boundary between your inner world and the external world. You remind yourself, this is not mine to carry. The world is full of opinions, but opinions are not facts. Just because someone says something about you does not make it true. Just because society expects something from you does not mean you have to conform. When you absorb opinions, you give them power. But when you simply observe them, you can decide whether or not they align with your truth. Instead of reacting emotionally, you take a step back, assess, and make a conscious decision about what you allow into your mind. Emotions are powerful, but they are not always a reflection of reality. Many people absorb emotions without question. They feel sadness, anger, or anxiety and immediately identify with it. But when you train yourself to observe emotions instead of absorbing them, you gain control over how you respond. You recognize that emotions are temporary. They come and go like waves. Instead of being pulled under, you learn to watch them, understand them, and let them pass. You remind yourself, I am not my emotions. I am the observer of my emotions. This shift in perspective changes everything. It helps you respond with wisdom instead of reacting impulsively. Another key to observing without absorbing is practicing detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop over-identifying with things that are beyond your control. You stop attaching your happiness to other people's actions. You stop allowing situations to dictate your inner peace. You realize that most things are temporary, and your power lies in how you choose to respond. Social media, news, and daily interactions constantly expose you to negativity. If you absorb everything you see, you will always feel drained and overwhelmed. But if you train yourself to observe, you remain in control. Instead of reacting emotionally to every piece of news or drama, you take a step back and ask yourself, does this serve my growth? If the answer is no, you let it go. One of the greatest benefits of learning to observe rather than absorb is that you develop inner peace. You stop feeling the need to fix everything and everyone. You stop taking things personally. You become more patient, more mindful, and more centered. Life becomes easier because you no longer allow external chaos to disrupt your internal balance. This practice takes time, but it is worth it. Start small. The next time someone tries to project negativity onto you, pause. Instead of reacting, observe. The next time you feel overwhelmed by emotions, step back and remind yourself that you are not your feelings. You are the one witnessing them. The next time an opinion tries to shape your reality, ask yourself if it aligns with your truth. These small moments of awareness will build into a habit, and soon you will find yourself living with more clarity, more confidence, and more control. The world will always be full of noise, but you do not have to absorb it. You do not have to take in every emotion, every opinion, or every piece of negativity that comes your way. You have the power to choose what affects you and what does not. Train your mind to observe, not absorb, and you will discover a new level of peace, strength, and freedom. In every moment, life presents you with a choice to react emotionally or to respond with logic. Most people move through life reacting, letting their emotions take control, allowing anger, fear, or frustration to dictate their decisions. But when you allow emotions to rule your mind, you give away your power. You become reactive instead of proactive. You say things you regret, make choices that harm you, and lose control over your own life. If you want to step into your full potential, if you want to navigate life with strength and wisdom, then you must learn to respond with logic, not emotion. Emotions are natural, but they are not always accurate. They are based on perception, past experiences, and even unconscious programming. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt intensely about something only to realize later that your emotions led you in the wrong direction? Maybe you got angry over a misunderstanding, or you made an impulsive decision based on temporary feelings. This is why learning to pause and think critically before responding is so important. Responding with logic does not mean ignoring your emotions. It means recognizing them, understanding them, but not letting them take control. It means stepping back and asking yourself, what is the truth of this situation? What is the best course of action? Will my response serve my long-term well-being? Logical thinking allows you to see beyond the heat of the moment. It helps you make decisions that are not just good for today, but good for your future. One of the biggest mistakes people make is reacting immediately when they feel triggered. They lash out in anger, make assumptions, or let their fears cloud their judgment. But wisdom comes from patience. Instead of reacting instantly, practice pausing. Take a deep breath. Give yourself time to think. Ask yourself, is my emotional response helping or hurting me? Most of the time, emotions push you toward impulsive actions, actions that you may later regret. But when you choose logic, you choose clarity. You choose stability. There will always be moments when people try to provoke you. Someone may insult you, criticize you, or challenge you in a way that stirs deep emotions. But here is the truth. The most powerful person in the room is the one who stays calm. When you refuse to be rattled by negativity, you remain in control. You do not give others the satisfaction of pulling you into emotional chaos. You do not lower yourself to their level. Instead, you stand firm in your wisdom, responding only when necessary. And when you do, you respond with intelligence, not impulse. One of the greatest benefits of responding with logic is that it prevents regret. Emotional reactions often lead to words spoken in anger, decisions made in haste, and unnecessary conflicts. But when you train yourself to think first, you avoid unnecessary damage. You do not allow fleeting emotions to ruin relationships, opportunities, or your own peace of mind. You develop self-mastery. You become a person who others respect because they see that you are not easily shaken. Another key aspect of responding with logic is emotional detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop feeling. It means you stop letting emotions dictate your actions. It means stepping outside of the storm and looking at the situation from a place of objectivity. When you detach, you make better decisions because you are not overwhelmed by temporary emotions. You see things clearly, and clarity leads to success. Think of the most successful people in history. The greatest leaders, visionaries, and thinkers did not let emotions cloud their judgment. They remained steady, focused, and strategic. They knew that emotional outbursts would only weaken them, while logical responses would allow them to navigate challenges with strength and intelligence. You too have this power. It is a skill that can be developed with practice. Start by noticing your emotional triggers. What situations make you react impulsively? What kinds of words or actions from others cause an emotional storm within you? Once you identify these triggers, make it a habit to pause. Instead of reacting, observe. Instead of lashing out, think. Instead of making an instant decision, reflect on the best course of action. Over time, this practice will become second nature. You will find yourself becoming more composed, more rational, and more in control of your own mind. You will no longer be a slave to emotions. Instead, you will use emotions as information, not as a driving force, but as a signal that something needs to be examined with logic. Life will always present challenges, but your greatest strength is in how you respond. You do not have to be controlled by anger, fear, or frustration. You have the power to choose logic, to choose wisdom, to choose self-control. When you master this, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, nothing in this world can shake you. Your energy is your most valuable resource. It is the life force that fuels your mind, body, and spirit. When your energy is high, you feel confident, clear, and capable. You attract positive experiences, make wise decisions, and move through life with ease. But when your energy is drained, whether by toxic people, negative environments, or even your own thoughts, you feel exhausted, unfocused, and disconnected from yourself. This is why protecting your energy at all costs is essential. It is not just about avoiding negativity. It is about preserving your peace, your clarity, and your personal power. One of the first steps in protecting your energy is being mindful of the people you allow into your life. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some people bring positivity, inspiration, and encouragement, while others drain your energy with negativity, drama, and manipulation. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel uplifted, or do you feel emotionally exhausted? The people you surround yourself with either add to your energy or take from it. Choose wisely. It is not selfish to set boundaries. It is necessary for your well-being. Another way to protect your energy is by being selective with where you place your attention. Your energy flows where your focus goes. If you constantly absorb negativity from social media, toxic news, or gossip, you are allowing external forces to dictate your emotional state. Protecting your energy means being intentional about what you consume mentally and emotionally. If something does not add value to your life, remove it. You have the power to choose what you allow into your mind. Your energy is also deeply connected to your thoughts. Negative thinking is one of the biggest drains on your vitality. Self-doubt, fear, and overthinking create unnecessary stress, which depletes your power. The mind is a powerful tool. It can either uplift you or drain you. This is why it is crucial to cultivate positive inner dialogue. When you catch yourself in a cycle of negative thoughts, pause and redirect your focus. Replace fear with faith, doubt with confidence, and worry with trust. Protecting your energy starts with protecting your mind. Emotional boundaries are just as important as physical ones. Do not allow others to project their fears, insecurities, or expectations onto you. Some people will try to guilt you into doing things that do not align with your peace. Others will try to pull you into their chaos because they do not know how to handle their own emotions. But their energy is not your responsibility. You do not have to fix, rescue, or carry burdens that do not belong to you. Learn to say no without guilt. Honor your peace over pleasing others. Your environment also plays a major role in protecting your energy. The spaces you spend time in affect your mood, your mindset, and your overall well-being. A cluttered, chaotic environment can make you feel overwhelmed, while a peaceful, organized space can bring clarity and calm. Surround yourself with things that uplift you, whether it is nature, music, or inspirational books. If an environment feels heavy or draining, remove yourself. You do not have to stay in places that rob you of your peace. Taking care of your physical body is another vital way to protect your energy. Your body and mind are deeply connected, and when your physical health is neglected, your energy suffers. Nourish yourself with healthy food, movement, and rest. Avoid substances and habits that leave you feeling drained. Listen to your body. It will always tell you what it needs. When you prioritize your well-being, you naturally strengthen your energy field, making it harder for negativity to affect you. Another powerful way to protect your energy is by mastering the art of detachment. Not everything requires your reaction. Not every battle is yours to fight. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. When you learn to detach from drama, criticism, and unnecessary conflict, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Let go of the need to prove yourself, to explain yourself, or to win every argument. Your peace is more valuable than your need to be right. Spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and grounding exercises can also help shield your energy. When you take time to center yourself daily, you build a strong, energetic foundation that makes you less susceptible to outside influences. Spend time in stillness, reconnect with yourself, and trust that you have the power to protect your own energy. The more aligned you are with your inner self, the less external forces can shake you. Ultimately, protecting your energy is an act of self-love. It is about valuing yourself enough to remove anything that disrupts your peace. It is about choosing yourself over and over again without apology. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot thrive if you are constantly depleted. Be mindful, be intentional, guard your energy fiercely, and watch how your life transforms.